those of you who know me well know that I've done this since I was 11 years old, which is a really magical, special thing. For some weird reason, certain plants, still to this day, when I look at them, they make me feel exactly the same way I did when I was 11 years old and looking at them way back then. And one of those plants, for some weird reason, is Drosera dichotoma T-Form. This is an old calcarn plant. I'm pretty sure we're the only ones that really sold it in any quantity for years, and we sold it for 30 years. I make them by doing leaf cuttings, so they're all genetically identical. But it's one of the most beautiful of the fork-leaf sundews. It's always been a favorite of Peter's, of course. We've looked at it basically my entire life. We got some weird rain last night, and so they're not looking super dewy, but you can see that they have the same golden color as dichotoma giant, and that's why we called them dichotoma T-Form, because it's not giant. It'll probably top off at about 1 foot tall, long petioles. It has the same exact golden look. Here's a small dichotoma giant right there. So you can see they have very similar color and look, but this one will only branch twice. Every now and then, if it's a huge clump, and it will clump, little pots like this in a bog garden will eventually become 6 to 8 inches across over years. They just keep spreading from the roots. And if you get big clumps like that, dichotoma T-Form every now and then will branch twice and make little 4 forked leaves, but it's really super rare. So that's why we call them T-Form. And also, fun fact about these, they have some of the largest flowers in the genus. When dichotoma T-Form blooms, it has the largest flowers of all the fork-leaf sundews, but really the flowers are bigger than a quarter, almost 50-cent piece size when they're blooming. And so they have really big flowers too. And while I'm talking about these fork-leaf sundews, we've been getting a lot of questions about the dichotoma giants and how come they're not branching, and how do I know that it's not a dichotoma T-Form, and they think maybe it is, and they're looking at them like this and trying to decide. So dichotoma giant can branch more than the typical ones, like a T-Form here, but it won't do that until the leaves are pretty big. So when this little plant is about like that tall and the leaves are like that big across, that's when you're gonna start to see a couple of branches to get those like 4-pronged leaves. And then when they get really big, that's when you're gonna get branchy leaves. And that can take years. So be patient, plant friends. Nothing happens in weeks. It takes months and years. Don't forget about that. Anyways, I hope you've fallen in love with these fork-leaf sundews, just like I have. If you've got a bog garden going already, they're a fantastic addition. And right there in the front, before I sum it all up, we might as well look at these little binata T-Forms. The binata T-Forms, you can see, they branch the same amount, they're about the same size, they'll stay a little bit more short and a little bit more upright, but they have red tentacles, which makes them kind of pretty also, but that's the difference there too. Now I really am gonna sum it up. Go get yourself some fork-leaf sundews if you haven't already.